Hey, I'm Ian.
And I'm Colin.
And today we're reviewing Venom 3, The Last Dance.
Coming up next.
So Venom 3 picks up from the Spider-Man No Way Home post-credit scene where Eddie Brock is in the bar, and he's having a drink, and he realizes that he's the most wanted criminal in the world right now. So he devises a plan with Venom to make his way to New York City, the city that never sleeps, where they will, I don't know, find happiness. But along the way, Evil Force Null, who created the symbiotes, sent the xenophages after Venom, who has the Venom key.
He's got like this thing on the back of his neck that he got from dying in the previous
first movie. No, the first movie.
Well, it's still previous. But he got it from dying in the first movie. And Noel now needs that. And it's kind of like a key to, I don't even remember what he needs it for.
Because he's trapped by the symbiotes.
Right, he needs to get off his chair.
And that's what this movie's about. Just a warning right now, I'm just going to rip this now. We will be doing spoilers for this movie because there's not much to talk about if we don't talk about spoilers. Mm-hmm. So we will be spoiling this movie. But what did you think of Venom 3?
All right, so this movie, it's kind of insane. So it follows the same tone of the previous two Venom movies. Venom 1's a little more darker. Let There Be Carnage is a little lighter and a lot more action. And then this one kind of takes what worked in that last movie and then amps it up to 10. So it's like it takes all the fun and just like it just riles it up with, and there's like the one scene where Mrs. Chen is dancing with Venom, which is, it's just insane. There's a bunch of scenes like that where it's like they're just having fun with this movie because it's their last time making a Venom movie.
Until Venom 4. But this movie is crazy, and it's a movie that needs to be seen. And just for context, I watched both of the Venom movies for the first time the day before I went and saw this one. And this one pays off everything. It's probably not my favorite of the trilogy at the end of the day. But it's a lot of fun. And if you love a good action sequence, this is a 90-minute action sequence. So you got to check this out.
And it's got like a few characters that, well, let's talk about the lead scientist, the lady, that has the whole backstory of her trauma of the storm cloud coming, and she goes like, I forget, it's like, when it pours, head indoors, or something like that.
Or when thunder roars, head indoors or something.
And then she gets like, her or her brother gets struck by lightning.
Her brother.
Yeah, and it just, that is one of the worst things I've ever seen in a movie.
I just completely agree. I'm watching this and I'm like, I feel like this is something the movie would play as a parody at any other time in the movie, but it's played completely straight. It's like they made it in 15 minutes in Adobe After Effects. It's just a hilarious sequence. We're all cracking up when we're watching this movie in 40x, by the way, because there's no other way you should see this movie. And it's just like, it's so insane, and it's just for this crappy payoff at the very end.
I know, where she, again, spoiler alert, gets a symbiote on her, and she's kind of like a speedster symbiote that has electric powers, is really fast. And that's just like, what? Like, what is this movie? There's so many things like that where there's just Venom on a horse, Venom on a frog, Venom on this guy, he's gonna have crazy powers, Venom on this girl, she's gonna have crazy powers. It's just crazy.
It is just crazy. I will say though, I did like when you say Venom on a frog and that's crazy, I did really like that chase sequence that happened. I don't know, was that the Grand Canyon? Was that the river in the Grand Canyon?
I don't know.
This movie has kind of lost its way in my memory since I've seen it. But this scene where like they're in the river, this is like a total standout because Venom's jumping from guy to guy to get back to Eddie. And Eddie kills someone, and it affects him for. And
it's him that kills him. It's not Venom. It's Eddie Brock killing someone.
And it really affects him for 5 minutes.
For 5 minutes.
And then they bring it up again at the end. I just like this whole movie. I don't even know where to start. I don't know where to end, because the movie starts and they're in the bar, and then they leave the bar, and then oh my god, and they have the security cameras.
Yeah.
The FBI is watching every security camera at once in the world, like as they're known to do, and they catch them. But then like the xenophage comes through a portal or something.
Yeah, one of like Noel's portals.
And it just happens to catch that Venom is the symbiote with the key.
Mm-hmm.
And can there be more than one key at once? I feel like yes.
I feel like yes, but in this circumstance there isn't, because Venom was the only symbiote
bonded
that
to
like
someone.
that got bonded to somebody and then they died.
Yeah.
And then yeah, those like the xenophages could like see the key, and that's how they knew where he was whenever Venom was on the outside. Yeah.
Yeah. I get that.
Yeah.
It's not like that was lost on me. It's just like this whole movie is a little confusing. I know they explained the symbiotes coming. They all came on the same meteor, but they've been slowly getting rounded up by scientists at Area 51, where this whole movie takes place somehow.
Yep. And they even sneak in a little like road trip subplot with this family that the dad, who's played, I don't remember the actual actor's name, but he plays Dr. Connors in the Amazing Spider-Man movies. So then if you're a fan of that, you're like, oh, maybe he's playing a multiverse version of Dr. Connors. He's not. He's just playing some random guy that really wants to see an alien. So he's bringing his family along to see an alien at Area 51 before they shut it down. And they do. They see all of the symbiotes.
And they see all the symbiotes and they freak out and they almost die like 12 times.
Yeah.
I liked the family, I
liked the
guess.
family.
I didn't have anything against them. They were good. They were good sidekick. And I liked that, I don't know. I like the kid, the little boy.
I did like the little boy. I think he was actually probably my favorite part in the movie.
The teenage girl.
She was the worst.
She was the worst.
Gosh. And she has the one
line about the murder podcast.
Yeah, she's like, oh, this sounds like just from my favorite murder podcast. That was terrible.
That was maybe the worst line of the year. I'll call it now. It was the worst line of 2024 movies.
It did feel like this movie was a mix of the whole Venom movies and then all of the other Sony Spider-Man movies they did. Like, it felt more Morbius and Madam Web than the other two felt.
This one felt way more Morbius.
Yeah, and just like, again, that backstory with the scientist was so Morbius.
I guess that's what it was that made me insane about it. But I guess we've reached our time, and we talked a lot about this movie. What would you give it out of 10?
All right, so when we first saw it, I would give it a 6 out of 10. I just rewatched it today. I'm giving it a 5 out of 10. Do not rewatch this movie. I think you will like it less and less every time, so I'm giving it a 5 out of 10. I
have not rewatched this movie since I saw it in theaters the Thursday preview night, which I think was 2 weeks ago to the day.
Yeah.
And I gave this a 7, and I guess I'm gonna have to stick with that. It's kind of crappy. It's no Let There Be Carnage, okay? Let me make that clear. That movie is a masterpiece, and everyone should see Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage. But this movie is fun. It's entertaining, and if you love a good Morbius, I guess check it out because it's a better Morbius.
Yeah.
With that, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time.